Hey everybody, this is Robert People of robertpeople.com, and you are listening to People's Court. Thanks for joining me. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at People's Court 79. Again, People's Court 79, Instagram and Twitter. Today is Thursday, December 6, 2018. And guess what? He's still your president. 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 Why are people saying this? Why are people using that as a talking point of any kind? He's still your president. What does that even mean? We all know who the president is. Okay, we know who he is and how long a presidential term lasts for, provided somebody doesn't get impeached, which is very possible, especially in Donald Trump's case, but that remains to be seen. However, we get a lot of people saying he's still your president. At the end of the day, he's your president. This is how I sleep, those memes and everything going around. This is how I sleep tonight, knowing that Donald Trump is still the president. And I'm here to tell you, for anybody who's interested in listening, that you don't realize what that makes you look like. Those of you who say this, you don't realize what this makes you look like by saying that. Let me explain. For starters, if that's the best way you can defend him, that should tell you something then, shouldn't it? After all, if he's doing all these amazing, wonderful, specific, amazing, wonderful things. I'm not talking about the stuff he gets on Twitter and claims without being able to back it up, or without facts, or stuff he's coming out of his mouth with that the very agencies he's talking about are coming back and saying, oh, no, this isn't true at all. Nope, sorry, Mr. President, that's not the case. I'm not talking about stuff like that. I'm talking about things that, he has absolutely done, that you can specifically say, yes, he did this. I'm not talking about all the generic, the vague, oh, he's the best president since sliced bread. Oh, he does all this. Oh, he's the most bold. Oh, he don't like political correctness. Oh, he's the best. He did more than all the last 6 presidents combined. Yeah, somebody did tell me that one too. Last 6 presidents combined. Oh, he's so much better. Oh, with Obama's the last president and he can do no wrong. Someone told me that one today. All this vague, nothing specific, again. Just a whole lot of, stuff being like, it's like they read it off a card and pass it to the next person so they can put it on another comment board or whatever the case is, right? But nothing really specific. And I guess at some point, people got tired of not being able to put anything out specifically. So they just say, well, guess what? He's still your president. He's still your president. Again, what does that mean? What kind of talking point is that? If the best you can say about somebody is that they're still there, that's not saying very much. Do y'all realize this? That's not saying much when that's the best you can say about them. Think about a person in an abusive relationship, okay? We're talking about verbal, psychological, mental, just every type of abuse there is, and that person is a habitual cheater on top of that. Now, you bring it to the person being cheated on, the person who's being abused. You bring it to their attention, right? You bring it to their attention. The family brings it to their attention. Close friends bring it to their attention. Everybody tells them, right? Everybody tells them. I don't mean they tell it in a nasty way. They just say, hey, you know what? I'm here to tell you, your partner, they're cheating, they're doing this, all this and this. And that person responds back to say, well, we're still together. We're still together. We're still together. What does that say about the partner and what they feel about their significant other who's doing all these horrible things, this abuse, this cheating? What does it say about that? Does it sound like that person has a whole lot of faith and a whole lot of confidence and can specifically point to things? Okay, well, I know he or she does this, but they're good partners because of A, B, and C. Does it sound like they're getting ready to follow that up with a whole lot of what's good about this abusive partner? No. The only thing they're coming back with is the fact that that person's just still there. What does that mean? That's mostly an in your face or a take that to everybody who says anything. And for those of you who love to keep going to, he's still your president, he's still your president, that's what your focus is. That should tell you something. Because if I'm going to get out here, okay, if I'm getting out here and there's somebody that I support, somebody I love, somebody I this, all this and that, you're going to hear me talk about that. I'm not going to hear somebody say something bad about them and then be like, oh, but you know what? They're still there. They're still there. They're still there, George. They're still there. No, I'm going to be like, let me tell you about them. Let me tell you why they're good. Let me tell you what makes them special. Let me tell you what specifically they've done. That's all you're going to hear me say. That's all you're going to get. You're not going to get me say, oh, well, they're just there. So, there you go. Take that. Stick my tongue out and all this other little childish stuff. And so many people, adults, these are grown adults, at least that's what they look like in their pictures, are saying, well, he's still your president. Yeah, we know that. We get it. He's still the president. Probably not for long, but he's still the president. Okay, cool, great. But what are you saying about him? When are you going to start putting out the specific things about him? And what this sounds like is what pretty much we already know. I mean, I'm not revealing anything, anything major here. This is not any breakthrough, any breaking news, anything like that. We already know what this is. Those of you who say this, you are more interested in, or it makes you happier to know that him being president upsets a lot of people. Whether he's doing a good job or not isn't even your focus. You say he's still your president because all you're worried about is that it pisses a liberal off. Yeah, that's all it is. I've seen people make these comments directly, specifically say this. For example, someone on Twitter who I will not give the time of day to put a name to it, but this female police officer in Dallas, I can't remember her name, but the one who broke into the black man's house and shot him. And again, I don't have names on this, but y'all remember that story, right? I know she was recently, something happened with her recently in the news. I saw it when I was in the gym. I can't remember exactly what it is. But anyway, someone in that story, someone on Twitter said to the effect, yeah, she's guilty. She's guilty as hell. But I want to see her get off because I know the liberals are going to lose their minds. And that is not, again, something that surprises, it's not a surprise to hear people say that. It doesn't surprise me at all. But this is what a lot of people think. This is what a lot of you are thinking. Y'all are okay with stuff like that happening and instances like that where people who are dead guilty, nothing okay, nothing innocent, they even come out and admit themselves they did this thing wrong. And you will lean more toward, but if it could piss the liberals off, I can live with them getting off, right? A lot of y'all thinking that way. And that's a damn shame. That's very sad. That's sad. And when it comes to Trump, I can tell you right now, hearing my quote-unquote social media friends talk about it, hearing people in public talk about it, reading comments people are leaving, there's probably more than half. Ooh, that's probably being generous. Let's say 60, 70, I'll say at most. 70% of you who might have a problem with Trump doing, with anybody else doing and saying the things Trump's saying, but because liberals are speaking up, Democrats are speaking up, you're making it okay in his case. You might get on Fox News, of course. You might troll MSNBC, CNN, so on and so forth, or your friends' pages, your liberal friends' pages. You might get on there and say, well, this is okay or make excuses for it, but deep down, you're not okay with it. You're just making it acceptable as a way to get back at your friends, as a way to troll CNN, to troll MSNBC, to get some cheap likes and shares and all this and that on Fox News, whatever your reason is. That's your main focus. That's all you're worried about. This is why someone would use the expression, he's still your president. Because what that says to me is, yeah, I know he gets caught in a lie every 5 minutes. Yeah, I know he sits on Twitter every day. He just blames Democrats for everything. He puts out fake information. He's always blaming this. He's quiet about the journalist who was shot in Saudi Arabia. He lets Vladimir Putin bitch slap him. Kim Jong-un laughs in his face and does all this. And he's so worried about what Saturday Night Live is doing, and he's more focused on that. And he takes all these golf trips and stuff. He's wasting all these tax dollars. He's using soldiers for political stunts. But damn it, he's still your president. You know, this is where we are. And again, it's just, you don't realize this says something about you, not us. Because if that's the best you could do, and again, we're not going to talk about all these, he does a good job. No, he's not. No, he doesn't. Well, he's not scared. He's scared to visit troops overseas. So don't talk about what he's not scared to do here. He doesn't even, in 2 years in office, he hasn't visited our troops overseas once. Now, leadership is doing that. And you know, if former President Barack Obama, the last real president we've had, didn't visit troops, the same one saying that it's okay for Donald Trump not to do it, you know you would lose your ever-loving minds if he didn't. 1 year in office, y'all would have a fit because the other presidents, I believe the other presidents did it at least by that time, but definitely by 2 years. So let's not talk about how he's not afraid of anything, because he is. He's absolutely afraid of it. He puts out so much false information. It's just pathetic. We really, my fiance and I were talking earlier, and it's like, something is mentally wrong with him. Now, I can start another. I'm not going to get into that because I'm running out of time. But, you know, they need to be looking at that. I wouldn't be surprised if after he's out of office, whenever that is, that we find out something was always there. But anyway, here we are, 2018. And people are more concerned with pissing off liberals, no matter what the cost is, than the type of job our president is doing. And it's fine if we're talking about, I don't know, somebody who, let's say, you had a fast food restaurant. You tell somebody, don't eat that cheeseburger, and they eat it anyway, and they laugh in your face. Yeah, that's over with in like 5 minutes, right? Well, it depends what type of cheeseburger, too, because you might be in the bathroom later on. But anyway, you do that. You go to Walmart, buy something you don't really need. Oh, you shouldn't buy that. I'm going to buy it anyway. Okay. That problem's over with in a couple minutes. Or anything of the sort. These are mild things, and things like that don't affect anybody but the people involved in most cases. However, the President of the United States has the attention of not just our country, but the entire world. And as much as blind allegiance might seem okay, as much as you get hard up as to know that it irritates some people that Trump does and says the things he does say, as much as you love to just boast about how much you're going to vote for him anyway, and you're going to support him no matter what he does, and he's still your president, y'all got to take a look at yourselves in the mirror and say, what am I doing to contribute to this? The whole world is looking at us and laughing at us, by the way. It says something about you that it even brings you any kind of joy to sit there and say he's still your president. That you're more interested in trying to get under people's skin than to speak up against someone who ultimately can't hurt just Democrats, won't hurt just liberals, But his decisions and the things he says and does, they can hurt you too. Because after all, he's still your president, right? Thanks for joining me. People's Court 79, Instagram and Twitter.